Hey everybody, I'm Garen, and I'm on a mission to talk to one person from every country in the world. Today we're talking to my buddy JJ. We were roommates together in China, and he's from France. And you'll have to excuse me because right in the beginning the video cuts out for a little bit. And it's a bummer because we were talking about how, for whatever reason, France and America kind of have like this really intense rivalry where, we make fun of them and they make fun of us, but at the end of the day I think we're a whole lot more similar than we are different. And we have kind of like a brotherly love, brothers who like to beat on each other a lot. But JJ is a good example of that. He's French and he's really proud to be French, but he's also kind of American in some ways. He loves playing American football, and he speaks English really well, and he likes American culture. So we were talking about that, and the video is going to start up again right as he's telling us about this football game that he broke his leg in. So I apologize for the interruption, but that's where the video will pick up, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, I'm here with my buddy JJ. We were roommates, it was 4 years ago already. It's gone by real fast.
I know, man.
We only talked a couple times since then, so I'm looking forward to catching up a little bit, and I'm particularly excited to talk to you because...
To score. And I pass in the middle of the field, and I get sandwiched by two O-lines. And my leg was stuck before me, and it just broke instantly.
Oh man!
So, yeah, it was kind of sad, but
so no more football, huh?
I still don't know because right now I'm completely healed, so I have the choice with my next sport next year. So I'm thinking about maybe starting back judo or MMA, or maybe going back to football. I don't know. I don't know.
How did you get into playing football in France?
Like you said, I was doing a lot of martial arts before that, and it's a mostly individual sport where you don't really feel the team around you or sharing things with people.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted a new sport where I could be brutal and there is contact, but with also a whole team around me. So I was thinking about rugby at first, because rugby is it's huge in France, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw there is a club of football around my home, so I just said to me, let's give it a try, and it was cool, so I stayed.
Cool.
For 3 years.
And
it's a special thing because the first year when I joined the team was in a reconstruction process because they were kicked out of the first league, and a lot of people left. And I participated in the renewal of the team, and we won the second league championship this year, and we won also the next year. So it was kind of crazy around the team. Now we are in the first league, and we have 8 players in the French national team.
Oh wow! So I didn't know that there was a French national football team. Who do you guys play? I mean, and I'm just curious. I didn't know. Do you play other countries or?
We played Sweden 10 days ago. And there is a European championship, where we are seconds, and we are also playing in the World Championship, where the United States are also playing, but you are not allowed to bring NFL players. We are only allowed to bring NCAA players. But you still win every time. So.
Oh, that's so cool. That's really neat.
Yeah, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Do you have a preference of that over martial arts or Muay Thai or anything?
I like the team aspect of the sport. I like to be in the locker room with all my teammates before the game, and having the huge motivational speech of my coach, and getting on the field, running and shouting and stuff. But I also like to depend only on myself during the match, like in martial arts, where you can blame your teammate for something. The only one to blame is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like it as well in the martial arts. So I don't know. I don't have really a preference. That's why I'm thinking about switching.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I like both, really.
I think that's just so neat how you know, a lot of Americans would have this image of French people with your turtlenecks and your little mustache, smoking cigarettes, you know. And here's JJ over there in the locker room, just like, yeah, let's go smash these guys. You know,
I know.
Way closer to an experience that most Americans would identify with.
I don't know if I myself represent like all the French people, you know, because I still get to see people in the subway in the street with like turtlenecks and cigarettes, right? But I think it's like a prejudice. Do tell this in US?
Yeah, prejudice.
Yeah, you guys think that we are all like this, but it's not the case, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find thugs, you can also find gangsters and stuff in France like you find in the US. You don't find the only people which are like painting in the street with a beret and stuff.
Uh-huh. Well, and that's every country's that way, and that's one thing that I would like to do with this project is just to show that, you know, you can never stereotype a whole country one way. Even me, I feel like, you know, I kind of have my foot in a lot of different areas. You know, where on the one hand, I'm a huge redneck. I've got, you know, a ton of guns. You know,
I know.
I live in the country. I just love blowing stuff up. You know, so I'll hang out with like these redneck guys, and we'll talk about guns. And then, you know, a French person will show up and start speaking French, and they go, "Wait a minute! I thought you were a red-blooded American. What are you doing speaking French?" You know, so yeah.
Yeah, I think that maybe it's like French is like it's a special language, you know, where it's not a language for tough guys. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe is a problem.
Some people might think that, but then you listen to like. You know, NTM or Funky Family.
I am
Funky
Family. Yeah.
Is Funky Family still popular in France? They haven't come out with a CD in a long time, huh?
You know, NTM, I am, and Funky Family are like old school hip hop. So my generation knows them very well, but the new generation, I think that they know them by name, but that they're not maybe listening to it as much as we did in our times. But NTM is still a huge thing in France.
I still listen to Art de Rue and Marginal Musique like all the time. Those are awesome CDs.
You know what? Like I'm right now starting to pack for my trip in the US.
Oh yeah.
On the Saturday, and I'm building my CD pocket with all the music I'm going to bring with me to listen in the car.
Uh-huh.
And then bringing with me Art de Rue, NTM Supreme.
Uh-huh.
And I am.
Cool.
My mom, the three like legendary CDs from French hip hop.
Uh-huh. So where are you gonna go when you're in the States?
I'm landing on Saturday in San Francisco.
Oh.
I'm staying there for 3 days. Then I'm going to Yosemite, then Death Valley, then Las Vegas, then Zion National Park, then Bryce Canyon, then Monument Valley. Then Grand Canyon, then Flagstaff, then I'm going west to Barstow for one night, and then San Diego, Los Angeles, and coming back to San Francisco to go back to France.
Oh, cool. And you've been to the States a bunch of times before, right?
Yeah.
But have you ever been to this area?
My dad was the UN correspondent for the French press agency in New York for 3 years. So I was going there for like every Christmas and whenever I had some free time to travel, you know.
Yeah.
Because I had like a home in New York where I could live for a few weeks and enjoy the city.
Cool.
But I know mostly all the East Coast and not really the West Coast. That's why I want to make a big trip on the West Coast.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I was just there just 2 weeks ago.
Where?
Yeah, so I rode my motorcycle from Portland, where I live, down to Las Vegas. I did it in one shot. It was 1,000 miles in one go.
Damn.
My brother flew down to meet me. We got matching tattoos. I got.
For real?
Yeah, I got the Bass Cross.
What did you do?
I don't know if I can show you. This might be a little bit difficult. Can you see that?
A little bit deeper.
Here.
Oh, okay.
Can you see it?
No. Come on, take off your t-shirt.
You see that?
Oh, cool. Yeah, I see it. What is it?
It's the Bass Cross, the Labudu.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like your origin and stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure. So now my brother and
Nice.
sister and I, we all have that same tattoo.
I'm like planning to do myself a matching tattoo with the two girls I'm going with there.
Oh, cool.
Because I'm like going there with my ex and her best friend. Yeah, so it's
Oh,
good. But
scandalous.
I don't want to end like with a tramp tattoo or something like they will do, right? So
Yeah.
I have to choose.
Oh, that'd be cool. When we were on the trip, though, we were coming back and we drove right through. We rode back on our motorcycles. So we rode through Death Valley, and we got a picture at the big sign that says, "Welcome to Death Valley." And there's this big group of people speaking Spanish. So I went up to them, and in my 20 words of Spanish, I'm like, "Are you guys, where are you guys from?" And they're like, "Oh, we're all from Spain."
¿Dónde estáis?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
Okay.
know, quel país or whatever. So
No.
they're like, "Oh, España," and I'm like, "Oh, somos Vascos, familia and país Vasco." So they're all freaking out, And this one guy comes up and he's trying to speak some French to me. So
Some French?
yeah, so
Okay.
I'm like, "Oh, this is cool." So we're trying to talk French to each other, and there was 10 of those people, and then another group of probably 20 young kids, not kids, but maybe our age, maybe a little bit younger, and they're climbing all over the sign, taking pictures. So I asked the guy, "Are they Spanish too?" I was like, "Son todos español también," and he's like, "No, no sé." So I kind of wander over to them, and they're all speaking French. It's 20 of these kids, and almost the exact same route as you. And
Yeah.
they were all about rugby, so I sang some Basque rugby songs, and it was just
For real?
such a trip. Here we are in the middle of Death Valley, and I'm speaking French with 20 French people.
Yeah, because I think that even if there is a little bit a problem between French and the US, the French really love to go to the US for holidays,
Mm-hmm.
So I have myself a few friends who also have gone to the US this summer to for a few weeks of holidays.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
So
it seems like you guys really love the idea of the Wild West too. You grew up with Lukey Luke, and I don't know. I that's Route 66. It seems like that has some kind of special allure for you guys.
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of westerns, but my brother is.
Uh huh.
And he's watching all the old school westerns with John Wayne and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's not really about the far west, but it's mostly about sport and discovering new cities and discovering. I really want to see the difference between the east and the west,
Mm-hmm.
in the lifestyle of people and in culture, in even maybe in language and stuff. So. I just want to discover a whole new country,
Yeah, that sounds cool. I haven't spent a lot of time on the East Coast, but I hear people even in America say that we're a lot different. And me, growing up my whole life here on the West Coast, I feel like this is America, And then I'll go hang out with people. I'll be the only person from the West Coast, and I'll kind of hear myself talk, and I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I sound so, I don't know, it's this weird surfer, the language that I use." It really makes you realize that we really do have a really unique culture here.
I think it's because also the east side is more open to Europe and to foreign countries, I think, than the west side, which is facing the Pacific and is a little bit more far away from other countries. So when people from Europe are traveling, they're mostly going to the east side because it's not so far away the west side.
Mm-hmm.
So in the streets of New York, you won't find only Americans, but you will find people from all over the world,
Yeah.
But I have the feeling that on the west side we'd find Americans and guys Hispanics, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then when you're in LA, you'll find neighborhoods where people from all over the world, have their little communities, and it'll be random. There'll be one area that's all Armenians, and one will be all Cambodians, and
I want to see that.
What's that?
I want to see that. That seems cool.
Yeah.
I want to go to each neighborhood and like see all the difference between them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I also heard that there is a few neighborhoods in Los Angeles where I can't go, right, because it's like dangerous and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't spent a lot of time there, but we hear stories about how there's some areas where the police just don't go, and the police say, as long as you just stay on that side of the street, you know, like in these 6 blocks or whatever, then you just do whatever you want. And then, but if it comes on this side of the street, like outside of this boundary, then we'll stop you. But there's some places that are just super dangerous, and
I'm not being a pussy. I just don't want to get a bullet in my head, you know. That's all.
Hey, I understand. It's the same thing. Like, it always makes me mad when you go to some place and people say, "Oh my gosh, like that country's dangerous." You know, people get mugged there, and it's like, okay, well, look, you go to the worst cities, you stay in the worst parts of town because it's cheaper. You go out super late at night and get drunk. And then you walk around, you stumble, obviously like lost, drunk back to your hostel.
Like, counting your money like this?
Yeah. It's like, of course you're going to get beat up or mugged. I wouldn't do that in America. You know, I wouldn't go out 2 a.m. drunk, lost in my own city, you know? So you just got to use your head.
Yeah, true that.
I was thinking about what you said a minute ago about, some of the perceived tensions between America and France. And just the other day, I was thinking, you seen that movie Step Brothers with Will Ferrell?
I don't know. What is it about?
So Will Ferrell, and then I forget the other guy's name. He was the guy in Talladega Nights, his partner. But they're like in their 40s, and their parents get married, so they have to be stepbrothers. And here they're like grown men, but they act like kids, and they fight like crazy. You know, at first they're like fighting over who gets to pick what they're watching on TV and all this kind of stuff, and they hate each other at first, and then they end up realizing that they have a lot in common. It's a super just goofy, vulgar movie, but it's just really funny. But I was thinking that's kind of what America and France is like. You know how on the surface, like there's kind of some of these combative issues, that we bump heads on. But when you dig down, when you take the whole scheme of things, like all of the countries of the world, we're pretty much brothers.
I think that we always have, from the start of your history. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? For your national day, I watched The Patriots. I watched the movie.
Nice.
And it was like about the start of your history and how it began also with us, because we fought together the English and the United States started like this. So from the very start, we are like brothers.
Yeah, for sure. And all the thinkers in France that led to the French Revolution, they helped us, and vice versa. Like, for sure.
But then I don't know, because now because of Iraq and stuff, I think that the people which are like maybe open to the world, and multicultural and educated, don't really hate on French people and don't really care about all this stuff. I have the feeling that it's mostly people which are like narrow-minded a bit, which are like making fun of us or like hating and stuff.
Well, I think it's the same with both countries. Like, there's been a lot of times where I'll be in France and I'll be walking, so this one time I was at a wedding, and this guy found out that I was an American, and he just started blasting me about the war and all this stuff. And I said, look, what language are we speaking right now? Like, we're speaking your language in your country. I'm learning your culture, and I'm the one that's like, ignorant and narrow-minded and stuff, So I said, if you want to have a beer with me, that's great, but I don't want to talk about this. But then on the other hand, it wasn't that long after that, I'm walking down the street. This is like late at night, and this guy comes up to me and asks for a cigarette. And I tell him that I don't have one, I don't smoke. And he goes, you have an accent, like you're not French, are you? And I said, no, I'm an American. And he goes, America, Snoop Dogg. So I feel like that's kind of like an example how there are some
Yeah.
knuckleheads that don't like our politics, but French people love our culture, our music, and it's the same way here too. Like we have some rednecks that say that you guys are wimps or whatever, but like you can't go into any fashion store or a home store or any kind of retail place and not see French paintings or
Yeah, I know.
like
I know.
we're totally into all the French culture over here too.
Yeah, but yeah, I was talking about the ignorance on your part, but we have also our bunch of people which are like completely stupid, like who are hating on the US because of wars or because of your way of, being like a bit like an octopus on the world, maybe.
Uh-huh. I agree
But
with that.
but I'm not really concerned about this. I'm considering myself like to be enough tolerant with everybody in every country that I don't have like any griefs about you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, and I agree. Like that's all
But
kind of.
I think it's mostly because you and I have like a multicultural maybe history a bit. Like you are not only American, but you have like French roots, and I saw that you were like traveling like crazy for the last few years.
Hmm.
So I think it develops like a new way of seeing things and a new way of talking about people and with people as well.
Yeah. Well, I think that might be a good segue too. We've been talking about kind of politics, so I'd like to start talking about personal things. But I totally agree how I think, like you said, our identity is maybe partially what dictates how I see the world or like our passions and interests and stuff. But I think just a big thing is that when you don't meet other people face to face, when you don't travel or when you just don't interact with people, it's really easy to buy into those stereotypes of like, oh well, all these people are one way, because we understand the complexities of our own country, but it's just human nature we want to like be able to like grasp the world that we live in. So the easiest way is to like put everything in these little boxes,
Yeah.
and just to kind of make it too simple. But that's what I want to do with citizen diplomacy, is just somebody will watch this now and they'll see your face and they'll go, oh, well, he doesn't really match up with the stereotypes that I thought before, And even if you don't have the background that we have of like traveling or maybe having families, from different countries or whatever, just having that exposure to just breaking those stereotypes, I think that's, is a powerful thing too.
I agree, and it's a good thing. It's a
Yeah.
very good thing, I think.
So I wanted to ask you just some stuff about like what it's like living in France. I mean, it's so much just like it is here, but like I don't know, when you go out, with a night out, you're gonna go out having fun with your friends. Like what's a great night out for you?
I don't like to go to clubs usually.
No.
I like to to chill with my buddies. I like to go mostly to house parties.
Uh-huh.
Where you're partying in somebody's house or home or stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the perfect party would be for me like I'm going there like at 10 p.m. or so, and all my buddies are there, and there was like also like my female buddies or friends or stuff.
Uh-huh.
And just chilling with them, having fun and stuff, and maybe later on the night grab a chick or something. That's a good night for me.
Yeah. Cool. That just reminds me, I have a bottle of Ricard around here somewhere. I was going to pour myself a glass of Ricard and toast, but I don't know where it is.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
I'm going to be jealous if JJ pours a glass of Ricard and I don't have one to toast back.
And I have this.
Oh! We could have done a little alcoholic cultural exchange there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Is that your drink of choice?
No, I will show you my drink of choice.
All right.
Wait a second.
I don't think JD is too hard to find over there. I've had plenty of JD in France.
So yeah, because I have 3 drink of choice.
Okay.
The first one is this one. Second.
Vodka. Looks Polish or something.
Yeah, it's Polish vodka. Because, like, I'm also half Polish, right?
Uh-huh.
And this one is mostly known only in Poland, so it's not buyable anywhere else,
Okay.
I think. And it's the best one I have ever tasted. So my mother is bringing me, like, every time she goes to Poland, 5 or 6 bottles like this. So this is the first one.
Nice.
The second one is, I think, well known in the US or so.
Oh, of course, that's my favorite.
Okay. So this one also. And the last one, I think you might have never heard of it.
Gold Strike.
Yeah, so...
Does it have the gold flakes in it?
Yeah. Yes. Do you see it?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
It's schnapps, like cinnamon flavored a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm buying this one in Luxembourg
Okay.
every time.
Cool.
So these are my 3 like fetish alcohols. And
Yeah.
the 3 of them are closed and are waiting for a special occasion to be opened.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
That's like that bottle of Ricard. We can't find it here. So when I was on that trip to Death Valley, I found one shop that sold it. So I made a special trip
cool.
out of the way to go pick it up. I don't actually like it that much, but it makes me feel like I'm Basque when I drink it.
I hate it. I hate the smell and the taste of it. Like, I don't know, it's a huge thing in France. Like, every time it's like the start of summer, everyone is going with shorts on terrace and taking like a Ricard and stuff. But I hate it. I never drink it because I don't know. I just don't like the taste of it, I guess.
Yeah, it's not that good, but I mean, all the Basques drink it, you know. So I'm like, I have to represent my people.
Yeah, I get you.
Cool. So
And I'm drinking vodka even if it's a bad one because I also have to represent my country, my second country.
what? So I want to talk to you about your family a little bit too. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's some things that are kind of universal as far as values. You know, I mean, you can go to any country in the world and, you know, people are going to value their friends and their family and trying to find some kind of higher purpose in their lives, you know. But you were talking about your mom and your Polish background, and how does that stuff factor into your daily life, that family?
Right now I have my brother which is living with me for like 10 days or so because he's on holidays and he didn't find somebody to give him a bed in Paris, so he's living with me.
Uh-huh.
And it's a difficult cohabitation, you know, because I'm living alone and he's like coming here and pushing around all my stuff and things, and sometimes we argue a lot, but he's my brother, you know, so I can't kick him out. I can't be really mad at him. I can be mad at him for like a few hours or so and try maybe to educate him and to transmit like respect or something. But he's my family, so I have to take care of him and look after him, and I think it's the same thing with any member of a family. You can have hard times with them, but at the end of the day, they are the only ones which will stay with you forever, you know, whatever you do. Mm-hmm. So you have to take care of them. And I always have been really stretched in my family because I left them when I was 15 to live in France while they were traveling around the world, because I had to have like a stable high school, you know, to start my real studies. Mm-hmm. And right now, my sister has finished high school in New York, and she's going to study medicine in Edinburgh.
Oh.
Yeah. Cool. I'm not living in the same city as my parents because they came back from New York a few months ago. But we see each other like a few times in the year, and each time it's a good time, you know. Mm-hmm. But I don't feel as close to them as other people might be because I didn't live with them for already maybe, I don't know, 11 years. Mm. So yeah, I love them. I'm happy to see them, but I'm not as close to them as other people might be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is that? I'd just be kind of curious, like how. I mean, obviously, it's a big, not everybody in France is the same way, but I think that, like in the Basque Country, they're a lot more family oriented than in America. Like,
yeah.
in America,
Definitely.
we're kind of like you, how it's really common, you go to college in the other side of the country, and then you get a job in another city, and you see your family once a year, And family's not quite a central part of our life as it is for some people. Like the Basques are that way. Like, your parents live, in the same house, or like, you'll add on to the house, and then, all your
Basically,
aunts and
like
uncles.
you move out from the house of your parents the day you get married.
Mm-hmm.
The day you find a girl and you get married is the day when you leave your family.
Yeah.
So it might be at 28, I don't know, 27 years old, but it's a tradition, And I want to take the chance to speak about a friend of mine, which is in the province, in a little town on the east side of France.
Uh-huh.
And she's studying in another city than her parents are living because she had to. But she's coming back every weekend to see them and spending the whole weekends with her parents and her family.
Mm-hmm.
And they are always going also to visit her in the other city, but it's only like 45 kilometers,
Oh.
But they're still doing, the work to keep in touch with in a really close way.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it really good. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah. That's probably not necessarily the norm, though. I bet most French are probably becoming more like the Americans, where the family's not as strong as it used to be, or I don't know.
It depends. I don't have any example of people which are like really far away from their parents and never speaking to them or stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's always rather close, and family is a really big thing. You have to see them every now and then, and for anniversaries every time and stuff. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool. That's neat to hear. Do you have any kind of traditions that you keep alive with your family, or holidays that you celebrate together?
Yeah. I was born in August. My father was born in August, and my brother also.
Oh.
So we are like every year doing the three anniversaries, the three birthdays, like all together.
Uh-huh.
And it might seem a little bit geek, but me and my brother, we are only like 4 years apart.
Uh-huh.
And we grew up together, and we love to play video games,
Mm-hmm.
And on each Christmas we have like our StarCraft match where we play 1v1, and it's like when the parents are already sleeping and we are alone in the living room, and we play like for a few hours 1v1 with my brother, and it's a great moment for me. I love it.
Uh-huh.
And I hope it will continue, like even when we are 30 or 40. I don't know.
Uh-huh. No, that's neat. I don't know. Like, I don't know why that makes me think of this, but so my brother, he's 17. I'm 27, and I'll be 28 soon. So there's almost 11 years between us.
Yeah.
And it's funny how him being in high school, he's just like at a lot different age. He plays football too, so he's always just like real macho, always amped up, So whenever we see each other, we can't just like hang out and go, "Oh, hi, Colin, how are you doing?" We're always like, "What up, bro?" And we're like hitting each other, and like he always has to be like slapping my hands or punching my knuckles,
Yeah, I get you, because my brother started boxing this year.
Oh, cool.
And English boxing, like with only hands.
Yeah.
And he's being obsessed with a match with me in boxing. He's like always asking me, "You have your gloves at home? I want to fight you and see blah blah blah." Because like for like forever, I was kind of bullying him a bit because I was like bigger and stronger, and now he wants to come back to me and like punch me in the face. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. That's how me and my brother are too. I always tell him, just one time, we gotta just have one good scrap. Just get it out of the way.
Yeah. To know who's the strongest,
Yeah, that's funny. Well,
but I think it's the same thing everywhere. It's like siblings rivalry a bit,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Are there any other things that you would, I don't know, just a part of daily French life? Just some kind of average daily thing that you would want to share with people?
All in all, I think that everywhere you are in the world, people have the same lives and the same things to do everywhere. Because I get up in the morning, I'm taking the public transportation in Paris to get to work. Right now I'm working at Peugeot. It's like the French automobile brand, like a bit like Ford.
Yeah.
And I'm doing stuff there like for the whole day. I'm eating there, and then I'm coming back home. Then I'm going to the gym. Then coming back, eating, and after I'm all going out to see my buddies in like pubs and or on bigger parties in the weekend, or I'm just chilling at home, watching TV shows or whatever. So I guess that you can be anywhere in the world. You will have the same lives that in other countries, but I'm mostly thinking about like countries with Western culture, like Europe or the US.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This might be kind of an abstract question, but I was listening to a podcast today, a travel podcast, and they were talking with, it was an American guy, a guy from Ireland, and then two ladies from Italy and Slovenia, I think it was, or Slovakia. I can't remember which one.
Okay.
But they were saying how the Italian lady was saying that, like, in Italy, they're not, like, really big dreamers. Like, they just kind of, like, if you ask somebody what they do for their living, what their job is, they get mad. They're like, I don't care about my job. Like, that's just what I do to make money. Like, just let's talk about, hobbies or, like, personal things, And they said in America, people are like a lot bigger dreamers. Like, if you have an idea in your head, you try to figure out how to make it happen. And that might be like an unfair like generalization, but I don't know. I mean, do you think that like French people are dreamers? They're
we love to complain all the time about about everything, even at work. But even if we look like lazy people or always complaining and not doing stuff, we still have like a decent economy, and we're doing the work that has to be done at the end of the day. So I think work is a big part of a Frenchman's life, and we are more open about talking salaries and stuff that you guys, I think, because I don't know. Do you in the States like talk about salaries between buddies? And not really, right?
No way. Like I don't even know how much my girlfriend makes, and people don't talk about that.
We do a lot. Like I have all my friends from my engineering school, which are also working in Paris, and we are like always talking about salaries to know if we are in the norm or not. If you are like underpaid or overpaid, and I think it's kind of a deep game, because you want to have the biggest salary of your friends, and I don't know if it's really healthy to talk about it like this. But the point I wanted to make is that it's not really a taboo, and you always talk about this. I even know how much my dad makes. I know how much my girlfriend's dad makes also. But it's not necessary to put people in boxes. I'm not asking this to them to like, oh, okay, you're earning less than 2K, so you are like this. No, it's just like to know mostly.
Yeah, I think in America we're really like success motivated and success oriented.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
if you ask that question, then it means you're kind of like stacking people up, and am I further ahead than them?
Yeah.
And that made me think. A couple years ago, I went to this. It was like an event by this guy named Dave Ramsey, and he speaks a lot about like getting all your finances in order and paying off all your debts, and like financial freedom. So I go to it, and I bumped into this guy that I went to grad school with, and we're like, oh, that's crazy. It's crazy seeing you here. Do you listen to Dave Ramsey? Do you? And I was telling him, well, I had this car that I was leasing, but I was tired of owing money and having to pay, the company every month. So I got rid of it, and I just bought like an older, like more simple car. It's kind of ugly, but at least I don't owe any money on it,
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I did the exact opposite. I got this awesome job. I make a ton of money, so I went out and I bought a BMW, and I don't really care if it costs a lot of money because...
Stop a second. I don't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
So yeah, he was just like, I got this awesome job, so I went out and I bought a BMW, and it doesn't bother me to go into debt because I make so much money. And I'm just like, you cocksucker, I gotta go home. I'm like, gosh dang it! Like here I go. I was feeling good about myself, and now I'm like, I gotta go buy a BMW now.
I think that yes, you on your side of the Atlantic, success is a huge thing. You all want to success in life and find a way to make your place, and to leave your mark.
Mm-hmm.
In France, it's not like this. I think most people don't think about success like this. They think about making a decent salary to live in a decent way, but not to to spend millions on expensive cars and stuff.
Yeah. What do you think would be, if you were to ask like the average French person, like what motivates you in your life, or what things do you value the most? What are your priorities? If it's not success, like what do you think that they would answer that question with?
Oh, living safely. I mean, without living like every month on the edge of being bankrupt and stuff, but not necessarily making like a huge amount of money, but enough to live in a decent way and in a safe way, and still have some pleasures.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the most important thing here.
Yeah, and that's one thing I love about France. People in America will say, and this is only the minority, like the rednecks we were talking about before. I'm a redneck. I'm not saying that to be rude, but you'll criticize America. We have plenty of things to criticize our country about right now. Like our freedoms are just disappearing by the day. So I'll make a comment about like our government's just kind of out of control, and people will go, well, if it's so bad, then why don't you just pack up and move to France? And I'm like,
America!
Yeah, I'm like, I might move to France. It's fucking awesome over there, And it's like, I don't know. Maybe for some people, like, there's plenty of successful people in France. It's not like, we're the success country and they're not, especially now with our economy. But, it's like you were saying, people might have different values, but your standard of life over there is awesome, French people know how to, really get the flavor out of life a lot more than a lot of people in America do,
What do you mean by flavor in life? You mean like enjoying day after day, or like
eating? I don't know, just like food and family and friends. And this might be more of a Basque thing than a regular French thing, but I remember when I was a little kid, all of my grandpa's brothers and sisters came over to visit us, and we would go out to like just some regular hamburger restaurant, like Red Robin's, just like it's like a burger joint that's all over America, and we would be there for like 3 hours, And when we were done eating, they would all like stand up and just start singing. All these people would stop and they're like, "What are these crazy French guys singing over there? Like, just shut up, let's eat the hamburgers." Like, you feel like in America, you come, you sit down, you order, you eat, you pay, you leave. But in France, like, you sit down and you talk, and then you have your coffee, one course, then you wait for it to digest another course, you sing some songs, like...
And then you drink some wine and you stay a bit, then you get up and go to smoke a cigarette and come back and order something else. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I can count the number of times that I was with buddies in restaurants, and we were like going crazy in the place, singing and stuff, and going on the tables.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's because we may have a different view about restaurants and this kind of things, because you are going there to eat and then maybe go out. We are going there to eat and to drink and to party and then move out somewhere else,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And maybe it's also because we drink wine and you drink peace beer, which is like 2 degrees of alcohol. So you have to drink like 10 liters before being a bit drunk.
Maybe that's the key. You guys are all a little bit buzzed all the time.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you just a couple more questions.
Sure.
I don't know if you could, and the answer might be something we've already talked about, but what do you like the most about being French? Like, what makes you proud to be from France?
Our history in first place, because even though we lost World War II and we still have like a huge history and a huge place in Europe, because we always have been there and we always have been maybe not always the winners, but always a part of something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that being a Frenchman means also that you have this all this history in the past with you, and you always see it when you walk in Paris. You know, you just walk and you see things which are like from the 16th century or stuff, and it makes you think about the older people who lived there like 400 years ago here. What were they doing? What were they like and stuff. So first it's the history, I think, and then I don't know. I have my French pride, you know. I'm proud to be French, and I don't want to be something else.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that in every country you will ask the people if they are proud of their country. They will say yes, but I feel French, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, for sure. That's an awesome country, you know. And there's tons of reasons to be, you know, like I said before. I mean, people have said that to me before about, oh, why don't you just move there? And I'm like, I probably will someday. I've been there a lot of times. I like to live there again. And I tell people, you know, if you woke up in France tomorrow, you know, you'd be lucky to live in France. That's a great place.
Oh, and I also like the fact that it's a small country, but if you go to the east, the north, the west, the south, you will find not only different countrysides, but also different people with different accents, with different way of speaking, with different even lifestyle.
Yeah.
If you go to the south on the French Riviera and you look how a guy is living in Marseille or in Nîmes or something, he will live in a totally different way from a guy which is living on the north or on the west side.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome.
Just not that long ago, I saw for the first time Bienvenue chez les Ch'tis.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that movie was so good.
You know that it's the most successful movie in France for like forever.
Yeah.
And the movie, I mean, the movie is fun and it's not a great movie, but it touches people. You know,
oh,
people
for
like
sure.
go to the cinema and they know they will maybe not see the best movie ever, but the actors will talk to them and they will like recognize themselves maybe in the video and so yeah.
I just thought like on a human level it was like really touching me how, you know, he had all these ideas that they were going to be dumb, and then like there's that scene where they're sitting at the restaurant and he's ordering like he's a ch'ti or whatever you call those people, you know, and he's like talking to the guy. Oh, that was so funny.
Yeah, I know. I want to speak about you about another movie. Maybe you saw it. I don't remember the name. I think it might even had more views than Bienvenue chez les Ch'tis. Oh damn, I don't remember the name. Do you have a second or not? Or
yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna ask you like 2 more questions. So I'm gonna pick them off my list here.
Okay. I'm going to okay. It's called the Intouchables, Les Intouchables, the Intouchables, and it's I'm talking this about this movie because it came out in France and had a huge success, and then it came out in the US, and it had a success, but people were calling this film a bit racist. And I think it's also a cultural difference between outer countries because the movie is about a wealthy old man which is like crippled and in a chair like this and can't move, and he's looking for somebody to help him in his daily life. And he takes a black guy from the from the Paris suburbs, which is like a bit of a thug, and he drives him around and have fun with him and stuff. And it's a great movie. You should really see it. I think you will like it. I think.
Is it a comedy or a drama or
a mix between the two of them?
Okay.
A bit of a comedy, a bit of a drama.
I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah, okay. I will link it to you on Facebook, okay?
Okay, cool.
I will.
I'll check it out.
Cool.
I wanted to know if you were to take a visitor around, you know, for a few days in France to, I don't know, to do whatever you want. Like if you wanted to just go to the Eiffel Tower or do that, that's fine. But like, what would you know, like to show somebody the daily life, like, you know, the best of your world in France? What would you show somebody?
In Paris?
Or, you know, I mean, just like, it wouldn't even need to be like for example, me, if somebody were to come to my hometown, I wouldn't take them to like go take pictures of stuff, or I wouldn't go to the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, I'd take them to the gun range for sure. We'd like ride motorcycles, stuff like that. You know, like if you just wanted to show off what your world is like in France, what would you do with somebody?
I think that I will have drinks with him on the borders of a famous canal in Paris, which all the young people are going to party and make out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great place to go at night because there is also like a huge crowd of people and people talking and stuff. It's really cool. And then I think I will show him around in Paris. I will take him to the catacombs to see like all the schools and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I will want to show him also all the little bars which are like a bit hidden in the little streets, which are really cool. Also, when you can have awesome drinks and awesome cocktails which you can find anywhere else. And maybe then go to the countryside because there is like also a lot of awesome stuff to do in the countryside.
Cool.
And then maybe have a fight with him.
Take him to the gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
That's right.
That sounds like a neat little view into life in France. So last thing before we sign off, if you had the opportunity, you do right now, to say one thing to the whole world, one message from France, what would you tell everybody?
One word, one love.
Nice. I like that. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, JJ, and thanks for giving us a little window onto France. There it is.
Thank you, Garen.
Well, I'll turn the recorder off now.
If I don't know, like during the Super Bowl when like the sister of Michael Jackson showed the nipple, it was like a huge scandal in the States, right? Like it was all over the news, and it was like everybody was like shocked and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
I know.
We don't have.
I know, just like what you're saying about like language in movies and stuff. You know, I mean, we say just as many bad words as you guys do. You know, I mean, when you talk with your friends, you say "fuck this," you know, "fuck that shit," whatever. You know, but when you go to the movies, if you hear that, it's like, oh my gosh, like you can't see this movie unless you're 17 because they say "fuck" in it. You know, it's like, well, 17-year-olds say "fuck."
Does it make sense to you?
No.
Not really, right?
No, it's dumb.
To me neither. But I don't know. I think that I saw that there was like a lot of shootings in the U.S. right now. No?
Yeah, there was 2 of them like back to back. In Aurora, Colorado, maybe like a month ago now.
Yeah.
Some guy went into Batman and shot a ton of people. And then I think it was like a week after that, some guy went to a Sikh temple and shot a bunch of Sikhs. And I don't know for sure, but I think it was like he hated Muslims, and he was like, well, they're wearing turbans, they must be Muslims. You know, oh, oops, they completely different religion, completely different ethnicity.
That's sad. And I think that there was a third one like today or yesterday. Like my brother said it to me a few hours ago, but I was kind of asleep, so didn't understand very well what he was talking about.
Do you remember where or?
No, I don't remember. I will ask him when he comes back, but
Okay.
yeah.
Man, I don't know. Does that show up on the news a lot for you guys? Like, do you
Yeah,
know, yeah.
yeah. The hour I think like made the front page everywhere. Yeah. Because
What?
it was during a movie, and stuff.
Yeah.
So, did you see it? The movie?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
It was good. So, my brother and I went to see it like 2 days after that happened,
Yeah.
and I know this sounds crazy, but in my state, you can have a license that you can carry a gun with you as long as it's covered up.
Did you have your gun?
So my brother and I are getting ready to go to the movies, and I'm like, I don't know, should I take a gun? And he's like, yeah, definitely. So I had a gun with me in the movie theater.
Like prepared during the whole movie, but like the first motherfucker who comes at me, I shoot him in the face.
I told my brother,
Damn.
if I get shot first, then it's right here. Then you gotta take over the job, you know. Oh man, I don't. When you guys,
I bet that half of the people in the theater were like with their guns and waiting for the motherfucker to come.
uh huh. Um, I don't know. Like when you guys talk about it over there, how does the conversation go? Is it like we're a bunch of
Like
savages?
no, it's always the same thing. We blame it on the fact that you have license to carry guns everywhere, and because of this, there is a lot of guns in circulation, and it's easy to get one. So I'm not sure that it's the real problem, but it's just the thing that which comes every time in the conversation.
Yeah.
I myself, I'm not sure if it's the reason why there is all these shootings, but it might be a factor that it makes it more easy to do,
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
don't know. I mean, I feel like on the one hand, of course, it makes it easier, but it's not the root cause. The cause is that
yeah,
guy was fucked up, and it's like, we have a lot of people in our country today that feel like they don't have any opportunity, and they're
mm,
lost. They don't have direction. They have shitty families. They don't feel love and support. So it's like, yeah, you can blame them guns and try to take all the guns off the street, and then you can pat yourself on the back because you felt like you did something. But the
mm,
real, and it's a lot harder to do. But the real solution is like make people have good lives, and stop families from being so fucked up. But
definitely, yeah.
it's a
Because
lot harder
I
to
think
like,
that they feel like leftovers on the side of the road, like everyone is going and they're like left alone on the side.
hmm
And they feel lost. They don't know what to do, and they might blame like certain people for this, and maybe they want revenge over them, and they want just to show that their despair.
yeah.
I
But the
think.
thing is, like, it's a lot more glorious to say war on guns than to say, hey, let's help people like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a lot bigger task, so it's more difficult to get support around an idea like that. I don't know,
I
man.
saw I saw the movie as well, and some things like made me laugh so much. Like I don't know if you recall the scene where all the policemen are going out of the under how do you say it?
The subway,
Uh,
underground,
yeah, like where all the shit is going.
the sewer.
Yeah, from the sewers. They don't have any guns, and all they have like their sticks, and they charge like over hundreds of people with guns. No problem there. "Ah, let's go for America. It's so funny because like in real life it will never happen.
Yeah.
But it was a fun movie.
Uh
I,
huh.
li- I liked it a lot. I feel sad that it's the last one from this guy.
Yeah,
But
that's Christopher Nolan.
yeah, but it was cool.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I don't know. It's
So
kind of
yeah,
like what?
did you stay in Las Vegas when you go there with your brother?
Uh huh.
Did you like it?
Not really. So, my dad lives in Saudi Arabia, but his house is still in Las Vegas. My stepmom lives there, and so we've been there a lot to hang out with our dad. And I always go with my sister, and that's like the worst because you walk up and down the strip, and all the guys are just like, "Hey, baby, what's up?" And I remember this one day we were walking, and she was like 16 or 17, and people were like every 5 minutes somebody would say something, you know, and every time I would get so mad, and I just told myself, I mean, I can't fight everybody, you know, so I just told myself if they say things, I have to just let it slide, but if they try to do anything, then I will just flip out. So this one time we're walking down the street, down the strip, and the crosswalk was red, so we're sitting there waiting on the sidewalk to cross the street. And these guys, 4 guys, they're up against the building. And they all start yelling at my sister. And this one guy walks down off of the building, like right in front of me, and reaches out to grab my sister. So I put my forearm out like this, and I like hit him in the chest and then shoved him backwards. And I'm just like, you don't fucking touch my sister, man. And he got right in my face. And he's like, why you gotta push me? And I don't even know what I said. But I'm just thinking to myself, I'll fight one guy, no problem. Like,
But 4?
Yeah, I'm like, am I gonna fight 4 guys right now? So I'm just squared off with them, and I'm just kind of waiting to see, like, am I gonna have to throw down? And so I was with my sister, my dad, and my little brother, who was like 12 at the time, 12 or 13 or something. So finally, like, the light turns green, and we just like cross the street and we walk away, and they don't follow us, you know. And my little brother was like, "Oh my gosh, Garen, that was so awesome! You almost fought that guy." Yeah, he was like, "Wouldn't it be cool if, like, you, me, and Dad just beat those guys up?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. That would have been crazy."
I don't know if it's a good idea right now, everybody.
No, but I feel like people go to Las Vegas to do all the shit that they won't do wherever they're from, you know. So I don't know. Lots of just real idiots.
Oh, I hope it won't happen to me.
But the thing, like, it's just a different scenario because of my sister. But there's so many cool casinos, and there's so much stuff to do. So many cool shows, just fun places to party. So
we are staying at the Hard Rock Hotel.
Okay. I'm trying to think. There's one. It's one of my favorite places. I think it's called the Magic Mile. But it's a shopping center, and it looks like the not even the Middle East, but like Aladdin or something, like this old, like, Arabian village kind of thing, and the ceiling is painted like the sky. And I think that might be attached to the Hard Rock. I can't remember.
Crazy.
But yeah, there are really cool places to hang out there.
If I get there, I will take a picture and send it to you on Facebook.
Yeah, do it for sure.
I'll tell you told me about this. I've been there.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Well, there's some gun ranges right there on the strip. There's a place called the Gun Shop where you can shoot machine guns.
But I can't, right? Because I don't have any license or something.
I don't think so. I mean, I think you can just go in there and...
I'm a foreigner. I'm not American, so I don't know if I'm allowed to do this. You
could give them a call. I'm pretty sure you can. I don't know for sure, but...
Is it expensive?
It's more expensive than what it should be, because it's like a tourist kind of thing, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, if you were just to go with me to the range, it's a lot more than that. But, I mean, just if you want to try it out, and they have some crazy stuff, too. Like, I mean, you can shoot, like, these giant, like, squad, automatic rifles and stuff. It's pretty crazy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that if I can do it and it's not too expensive, I will try.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then I will have the whole American experience.
Uh-huh.
I will drink Bud Light or Coors Light at the same time, and wear a Confederate flag on my cap, and a tank top.
Yeah, for sure.
Should be nice. Okay, listen, Gavin. Tomorrow I have to work, so I have to go to bed right now.
Yeah, well, we already talked for a long time. Well, that's cool. Let me know how your trip goes. I hope it goes awesome.
Yeah, okay. I will write you a mail or a message on Facebook to tell you about it.
All right, sounds good, man. All right, good talking to you.
Good luck with the project, man.
All right, thank you. All right,
and send me the address, and the website will be on.
Yeah, I will.
See ya.
Thanks. Good talking to you.
Bye.
So that's it. That's JJ from France. like I said before, for whatever reason, America and France, we have like this real rivalry with each other. But I hope that seeing this conversation, maybe has just given you a deeper understanding of that place, and just having JJ's face and his voice in your brain. Hopefully, it's kind of humanized France a little bit for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned next time for another interview. Thanks.